Hello, students. Continuing with the revision lecture series of the industrial law subject. So, the next topic which we are going to revise here is the Factories Act 1948. In the previous two lectures, we discussed the unit number 1, which comprised of two topics, that is Industrial Disputes Act 1947 and Trade Union Act 1926. This is the second unit, which has two topics. One is the Factories Act and the next one would be the Workmen's Compensation Act. Today's lecture will be dealing with the Factory Act. As always, I always recommend you to have your textbook and your notes with you and jot down any important points which you may come across. So the basic objective of this act, the Factories Act 1948, is to regulate conditions of work in manufacturing establishments. The problem is that in many of the manufacturing establishments or the factories, certain things are not being followed, which may result in industrial accidents. India has a long history of industrial accidents. The most major one was the Bhopal gas disaster leak. In recent times, you may come across many news. Some 1 or 2 years back, a major incident happened in Dombivli MIDC area. Then I guess last year near the RCF factory again one incident happened. So these things regularly come up. Whatever are the reasons it may be, they would be coming out after the regular investigation by the authorities. But then certain things are lacking still in our country as far as the implementation of act is concerned. So this act basically gives you three important topics as far as the safety is concerned or the overall working of the factories is concerned. First one would be health measures, then safety measures, and third is the welfare measures. So this act is basically divided into these three major parts. Now, the one important definition in this is the manufacturing process. Basically, all manufacturing processes are being involved in this particular definition as per section 2K. So it means process for making, altering, repairing, ornamenting, finishing, packing, oiling, washing, cleaning, breaking up, or otherwise treating or adapting any article or substance with a view of its use, sale, transport, delivery, disposal, generating, transforming or transmitting power, preserving or storing any article in cold storage, constructing, reconstructing, repairing, bookbinding, composing types for printing. So many things are being included in this particular definition. So therefore, all the factories are being covered under this particular act. Now let us proceed towards the health measures of the under the Factories Act. So provisions regarding the health of the factory workers. I will go point wise. I will first give you the points and then you can jot down the points or you can revise it from your already given notes. First one is the cleanliness in the factory premises. So obviously this is a very important thing. Any establishment, whether it be the industrial establishment, in fact even in our homes, the first thing we look upon is towards the cleanliness. But then since this is an industrial law and it relates to the workers' health, so this level of cleanliness is different much more than our domestic cleanliness. So what the provision states as per section 11, that any accumulation of dirt shall be removed daily. The floor of every room shall be cleaned. At least once in a week, disinfectant or any other effective method shall be used. It's a 1948 act. Na? Disinfectant is the term which we are hearing nowadays as far as the COVID-19 crisis is concerned. One more thing. You may have heard that the government has given certain restrictions. They lifted certain restrictions on the working of the factories. The Ministry of Home Affairs has come up with certain guidelines as far as the working of the factories are concerned. They have introduced new measures as far as the industrial establishments are concerned. These rules relate to social distancing or using of this sanitation measures and so on and so forth. I will be posting that particular MHA order on the WhatsApp groups. You can jot it down, the important points which you find relevant, and include that in your answer. It is always a good practice to include the current things which are going on in your answers. It gives a lot of good weightage to your answers. Anyways, so these things shall be done as far as the cleaning is concerned. Next is disposal of wastes and effluents. EFFLUENTS, effluents. Industrial waste is very much different from the domestic waste. The question comes here is that you just cannot dispose of the waste as we do it in homes. Obviously, nowadays there are rules as far as domestic waste is also concerned. You may have heard about the segregation of dry waste and wet waste. So it's not like earlier thing where you can just dump anything in your garbage bin and you can give it to the municipal corporation. There are heavy fines for it also. For example, there are rules relating to the disposal of the electric waste, mobile phones, batteries, and these things you cannot just throw away. Now, so it's as far as the industrial waste is concerned, this particular provision states that effective arrangement shall be made. By effective arrangement, they mean that you shall treat that particular waste by, say, for example, by neutralizing it. These industrial wastes are many a times acidic in nature. They may hurt the environment, they may hurt the locality. So therefore, in order to neutralize it, you have to include certain other chemicals or any other things which are there, the technical things which are there, and then only you can dispose of this waste. So this also comes under the health measures. So this health measure is for workers also and in general society also. Next would be ventilation and temperature. So adequate ventilation where the circulation of fresh air shall be maintained, and also the temperature shall be maintained. Now these rules shall be made by the state government, because the Factories Act, under the Factories Act, the state government shall appoint inspectors, factory inspectors. They are not the regular police inspectors. They are called as the authorities who check the implementation of this act. So this state government will make the relevant rules, because it may depend on case to case basis, or may differ from different industries. There may be certain other categories which may be requiring the detailed rules and regulations. Next is dust and fume, just the earlier one. So even there shall not be accumulation of dust and fume. Next is artificial humidification. So artificial creation of humidity is employed in Indian cotton textile mills and cigarette making factories, because obviously it related to your health, and respiration problem should not be there. Prescribing standard of humidification. Now there are again certain technical issues which the state government shall make rules upon. Next topic would be, as far as the health measure is concerned, is overcrowding. So no room in any factory shall be overcrowded, and the chief inspector of factories shall fix the maximum number of workers to be employed in each room in the factory. I don't know how, it is such a visionary act, I can say. These are the things, if already would have been implemented earlier, would go a long way in prescribing social distancing or all those things. Anyways, lighting provisions shall also be there. Adequate lighting should be there. Also, prevention shall be there, so that there shall not be excessive lighting. See, whenever you work, there shall be adequate lighting. So no two extreme conditions shall be there. For example, there shall be not too much darkness, because then it may result in accidents. Also, there shall not be too much glare, too much of lightning or glare. Even that is not prescribed, because that may hurt your eye, or that may result in certain injury. Next, drinking water shall be there in such places, and shall be legibly marked as drinking water. In fact, they have given another provision that in case of factories more than 250 workers, provision shall be made for cooling drinking water during hot weather by effective means. So cold water in large factories is not a luxury. India is a country which has much more humidity in the air, much more heat in the air. So maybe a cold water is not something as a luxury, but a provision under the law where more than 250 workers are working. Next would be separate washrooms for male and female workers. See, this is the kind of detailed provision made in the law, and if it actually implemented. Now you may be wondering how come this provision is there. So it's not like that. There are many factories where there may be only one washroom available for male and female. But anyways, wherever there are such kind of things, the factory inspector shall take adequate action, and such kind of provisions are very much important for the working people. The provisions are also there for regular cleaning of these washrooms. And the next health measure which is there is the provision for spittoons, SPITTOONS, thukdani as they call it in Hindi. So that obviously this is not to say that spitting is to be allowed, but it is there so that if anyone, for any reason for that matter, has an urge to spit, then he shall spit only in that spittoon. And in fact, the notice shall also be put up that if anyone spits without any proper health reason or any other reason, then penalty shall be imposed. So this is all about the health measures. We'll be proceeding with the safety measures. Section 21 to 30 deal with health measures. Section 11 to 20 safety measures are section number 21 to 30. Fencing of machinery. This is the first provision under the safety measure. So the factory shall make proper provision. See, there are very much big machineries in every factory, and these big machineries shall be provided with a proper fence, so that nobody goes near it except the authorized personnel. So that fencing shall be there. Also, they should make sure that casing shall be done. So proper things, it shall be properly covered. There shall be warning signs written. In fact, you could even employ certain guards so that unauthorized entry shall not be there near the particular factories. Then next, striking gear and devices for cutting off power. So there may be possible that sometimes the emergency buttons are there, so that if anything goes wrong, just by click of one button you may switch off all the power relating to that particular machinery. So even that can be that shall also be there. Then lifting machines, chains, ropes and lifting tackles. So all these things shall also be put in a proper place, the lifts and all those things. Next should be there that excessive weights shall not be there, and also protection of eyes shall be there. If you see, normally in case of say welding, you may have seen the person who does the welding wears some kind of a glass or some kind of a protective gear, because excessive heat and lighting will actually damage your eyeballs. So therefore there is quite a big risk to your eyesight, and you may even lose the vision. So therefore, protection of eyes, the protection gears shall be given. Precautions against dangerous gases and fumes. The factories which emit certain gases and fumes, even internally also the workers shall be protected from it by giving, say, proper mask or any other kind of things. Another important reason, one of the most important provision is that fire prevention measures shall be put in place. They should also prepare disaster management plans. They should also have a proper measure, so that in case fire, unfortunately if something goes wrong, so all the workers would be in know-how as to how to get out of this particular fire. So regular mock drills relating to fire shall be conducted. Necessary equipments shall be put in place. Everyone should know how to actually fight this particular disaster. Next heading is maintenance of buildings and safety of buildings. So regular maintenance of the machinery, regular maintenance of the building for the apartment shall also be conducted in a proper manner, and there shall be no any kind of negligence on the part of the factory in order to have a safe atmosphere. And now, in order to implement this particular provision, the Act states that where 1,000 or more workers are ordinarily employed, the state government may appoint an officer called as the safety officer, whose work shall be to see whether this particular safety provisions are being implemented or not. Next, third one is the welfare measures in the factories. So health, safety, welfare. Welfare comes in starts from section 42. Washing facilities and facilities for storing and drying clothes. Sometimes they may work more than one shift and all those things. So therefore, adequate washing facilities for their clothes shall also be there. First aid appliances shall be there. There are two things here. First aid boxes or cupboards equipped with the required content should be provided for workers in every factory. That is there. This should be readily accessible. Otherwise, it should not be there. A worker has got injury and there is no provision, or even if the first aid box is there, no one knows it. That shall not be the case. The number of such first aid boxes shall not be less than one for every 150 workers. At least one box for every 150. For example, if there are 300 workers, so it shall be at least minimum 2. These are the minimum numbers. It's not that for 150 workers they give only one box. Ideally, it should be more quantity. Maybe say for example 10 or 12. Now this shall be kept in charge of responsible persons. And another important provision, where 500 workers are there, there shall be an ambulance room which contains the prescribed equipments and be in the charge of medical and nursing staff as may be prescribed, because the chances of having industrial disaster is more in a big factory, especially 500 workers are there. So there may be possible that if something happens, the workers may be treated immediately right there. Fire or any other kind of a explosion is there. Next provision is canteens shall be provided where there are more than 250 workers. Now the government may make certain rules as far as the food stuff to be served, charges to be included. A managing committee, or as a canteen committee as they call it, shall also be there. And in this canteen committee, representation from the factory management as also workers shall be there. So most of the big factories actually provide subsidized food. I mean, there are many examples where some certain very big factories provide lunch or dinner at nominal price, just 10 rupees or so. But then it has to be managed properly. So this is also welfare measures as far as the factory that is concerned. Then next is facility for creches, CRECHES, creches. So where there are more than 30 women workers employed. So women have already part of the workforce in large numbers. So for their safety and for their welfare, a separate creche facility shall be there, kind of a babysitting, because it shall not be. You shall not give an option to the woman that either you sit at home just because the child is born, you sit at home and do not work in the factory or do not come to the workplace. Adequate facilities shall be given to the woman as far as the creche is concerned. And in fact, they have made provisions that even milk and other things required shall be given to the child at least till the age of 6 years. So this is what the welfare provisions are. Just like the safety measures, even for the welfare provisions, welfare officers are to be prescribed where there are more than 500 workers are there. I also mentioned that in order to have this particular provisions implemented, the state government shall appoint factory inspectors, and the state government can also make certain rules relating to any kind of addition or deletion of any kind of provision as far as the workers are concerned. So this is a very relevant act and a very good piece of legislation in order to regulate the conditions of working in manufacturing establishments. Make sure you revise all this. Like I already mentioned, I will be putting up the recent order of the government where it is prescribed how to go about the social distancing and all those things. Revise all the things. Stay home and stay safe. Bye.